Hello everyone, today we are going to learn Chapter 1 Geographical Diversity of India Part 2 from your Social Science textbook. In this video, I'll be covering each and every line from the chapter so you don't miss anything important. Make sure to keep your notebook and pen ready and take notes while watching. This will help you remember the concepts better. You can pause or rewind any time to write things down. So, let's begin. The Gangetic Plains. As we move southwards from the Himalayas, we reach the vast and fertile Gangetic Plains. These plains have been an important part of the history and civilization of India. These plains are nourished by mighty rivers originating from the Himalayas, providing a vital lifeline, water. So, when we move south from the Himalayas, we come to the Gangetic Plains. Gangetic Plains are also called as Northern Plains. These plains are very wide and fertile, which means they are very good for farming. Also, they have played an important role in India's history and civilization because many people settled here and built cities. The plains are watered by big rivers from the Himalayas like the Ganga. These rivers provide water which is very important for agriculture. The Ganga, Indus and Brahmaputra river systems, along with their extensive network of tributaries, enrich the soil with minerals, making the region highly fertile and ideal for agriculture. The rivers bring with them minerals that enrich the soil, enabling abundant agriculture. The rivers are also a source for generating electricity. A large proportion of India's population lives in these plains. Here we call river system because it is not just one river alone. A big river like the Ganga, Indus or Brahmaputra is joined by many smaller rivers, and all these rivers together form a network just like branches of a tree. So when a main river and all its tributaries flow together and are connected, we call it a river system. So, the Ganga, Indus and Brahmaputra river systems along with their many tributaries make the plains very fertile. These rivers bring minerals from the mountains which make the soil very fertile and that helps crops grow well. Because of this, the region is ideal for farming and produces a lot of food. The rivers are also used to generate electricity. Since the land is fertile and water is easily available, a large number of people live in these plains. We have some pictures given here. Figure 1.11 Modern agricultural practices in the plains. So farmers use machines like tractors and harvesters along with irrigation methods to grow crops more efficiently. These modern methods help in increasing crop production, saving time and labor and making farming more productive and profitable. And this figure shows an aerial view of Delhi, which means the city is seen from above. You can also see the Yamuna river on the top right side. This shows how rivers flow through the plains and support cities by providing water. And this picture shows multi-cropping in Uttar Pradesh. This means growing different types of crops in the same field either at the same time or in different seasons. Because the soil is very fertile and there is enough water in the plains, farmers can grow crops again and again on the same field. And in this figure, we can see the rural women working in a paddy field in West Bengal. It shows how people in the plains are involved in agriculture. Paddy or rice needs a lot of water which is easily available in these regions. It also shows the important role women play in this farming activities. The flat land of the northern plains has allowed for the development of an elaborate transportation network. Road and railway networks facilitate the movement of people and goods over long distances. As you will see in the tapestry of the past chapters, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra and other rivers have been used for millennia for travel and trade. The northern plains are flat, which makes it easy to build roads and railway lines. Because of this, a strong transport network has developed in this region. These roads and railways help people and goods travel easily over long distances. Also, rivers like the Ganga and Brahmaputra have been used for a very long time for travel and trade. This shows that transport in the plains has been important since ancient times. Figure 1.15 Modes of transport in the Gangetic Plains. In the first picture, you can see railway tracks which show rail transport, and the next one, boat is seen in the river which shows water transport. This tells us that both rail and water transport are used in the plains, and because the land is flat and rivers are present, transport is easy and well developed. Don't miss out. Most rivers are named after goddesses, Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, etc. The name of Brahmaputra, however, means the son of Brahma. This river gets bigger during summer instead of drying up. Can you guess why? Most rivers in India are named after goddesses like Ganga, Yamuna and Kaveri because rivers are respected as life-saving and sacred. But the Brahmaputra is different. Its name means the son of Brahma. Brahma is the creator of God and Putra means son. So, unlike most rivers which are given feminine names, the Brahmaputra is considered a male river, which makes it different from other rivers. Also, most rivers become smaller or dry in summer because there is less rainfall. But the Brahmaputra is different. It becomes bigger in summer because it flows from the Himalayas where there is snow and glaciers. During summer, the snow melts, adding a lot of water to the river. Also, this region receives heavy rainfall which increases the water level. So, instead of drying up, the Brahmaputra becomes full and powerful in summer. Let's explore. Notice the concentration of lighting in the plains. What could be the reason for this concentration? Figure 1.16 Satellite image of the Gangetic Plains. This image shows the Gangetic Plains at night. We can see a high concentration of lights in this region because a large number of people live in the plains and there are many cities, towns and industries which use a lot of electricity. Therefore, more lights are visible in these areas. Figure 1.17 The Northern Plains grey langur sits on a wooden beam in Bandhavgarh National Park, Madhya Pradesh. Bandhavgarh National Park is one of the most famous national parks in India. It is especially known for its large number of tigers. The park has dense forests, grasslands and hills, making it a perfect home for many animals like tigers, deer, monkeys and birds. And this grey langur is a common monkey species found in these plains and forest regions. Figure 1.18 The majestic tiger that was on the verge of extinction, Project Tiger has supported the return of the tiger to its habitats. So, in this picture, we can see the majestic tiger, which is India's national animal. There was a time when tigers were almost extinct, meaning very few were left in the wild. Due to hunting and loss of habitat, the number of tigers had reduced greatly. To protect them, the government started Project Tiger. This project helped to save tigers and increase their population. Because of this effort, tigers are now slowly returning to their natural habitats. Figure 1.19 The Indian gharial, an adult is between 2.5 and 4.5 meter long. This reptile is on the verge of extinction. There are laws that prohibit harming it or hunting it. Indian gharial is a long snouted reptile. Snouted means a long narrow mouth. An adult gharial can grow very long, about 2.5 to 4.5 meters. But sadly, this animal is on the verge of extinction, which means very few are left. To protect it, there are strict laws that do not allow people to harm or hunt it. Figure 1.20 A peacock and peahen. The Indian peacock is our national bird. The peacock, which is a male bird, is known for its bright and colorful feathers, while the peahen, which is a female bird, is usually brown and less colorful. The Indian peacock is our national bird, which is famous for its beautiful feathers and graceful dance, especially during the rainy season. The Great Indian Desert or Thar Desert. If we move westward on the map, you will notice a yellowish area. This area is the Thar Desert. What do you see? A vast stretch of golden dunes, rugged terrain and a wide open sky. So, as we move westward in our map, we can see that the green and fertile land slowly changes and suddenly you see a yellowish region. This is the Thar Desert. Now imagine standing there. You see endless golden sand dunes stretching as far as your eyes can go. The land is rough and dry, and above you is a huge open sky. There are very few trees and very little water. Let's explore. What is the shape of a sand dune? While mountains are made of rock and their shape is fixed, why do you think sand dunes also have a similar shape even though they are made of sand? This question has two parts. First one, what is the shape of a sand dune? And why do sand dunes have a shape similar to mountains even though they are made of loose sand? Sand dunes are usually rounded or hill-shaped, like small hills or waves of sand. Even though they are made of loose sand, they have a shape because of the wind. The wind blows sand from one place to another and keeps piling it up. Over time, this forms dunes with a gentle slope on one side and a steeper slope on the other side. So, like mountains, dunes also have a shape, but unlike mountains, their shape can change over time because the wind keeps moving the sand. Figure 1.22, Jaisalmer, the golden city located in the middle of the Thar Desert in India. The Jaisalmer fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This picture shows Jaisalmer, which is called the Golden City. It is called the Golden City because most of the buildings are made up of yellow sandstone, which looks golden, especially in sunlight. It is located in the middle of the Thar Desert. And you can also see the famous Jaisalmer fort, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And this fort is very old and shows the rich history and architecture of the region. Sand dunes are formed when the wind shifts and shapes the sand into hill-like formations. Sometimes these rise as high as 150 meters. So, sand dunes are formed by the wind. The wind blows sand from one place to another and piles it up, creating hill-like shapes. Over time, these sand dunes can grow very large. Some dunes can rise up to 150 meters high, which is almost as tall as a big building or a small hill. The Thar is a vast arid region. Most of it lies within India, spanning the states of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana. The desert acts as a natural barrier due to the harsh conditions that deter human and animal movement, including very high daytime temperatures and cold nights, as well as a lack of access to water. So, the Thar Desert is a very large and arid region. Arid means very dry, almost no rain. Most of it is in India and spreads across states of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana. Life here is difficult because the desert has extreme conditions. During the day, it is very hot and at night, it can become quite cold. Also, there is very little water available. And because of these harsh conditions, the desert acts like a natural barrier. A natural barrier is a natural feature of the earth that makes it difficult for people, animals or even armies to cross or to move through. People living in the Thar have adapted their way of life to the place and what it offers. Food habits, clothing and lifestyle are suited to these harsh conditions. People living in the Thar Desert have adapted their lifestyle to the harsh conditions. This means they have changed the way they live to suit their environment. Their food habits include items that need less water. Their clothing is usually loose and light colored, which helps protect them from the heat. Their lifestyle is planned according to the extreme weather and limited water. So people in the desert live in a way that helps them survive and stay comfortable in difficult conditions. Figure 1.23, Camel Vendor at the Pushkar Mela at the edge of the Thar Desert. Camels are very important in desert areas. They are called the ship of the desert because they can walk easily on sand and survive with very little water. At the Pushkar Mela, people buy and sell camels and other animals, and it is also a cultural festival with music, dance and traditions. Don't miss out. Water is scarce in the desert. Women often need to travel long distances every day to fetch water for their families. So, the traditional method for cleaning utensils is to score them with sand until they are clean. A little water can be used for a light rinse. The water used for rinsing is reused for purposes like watering a plant. So the next time you leave the tap running, remember the people of the Thar Desert. Rajasthan is also famous for its ingenious water conservation methods, including tanka or kunds. These are special water collection systems that store rainwater, often for drinking purposes. In the Thar Desert, water is very limited. People do not get water easily, so they have to use it very carefully. Women often walk long distances every day to bring water for their families. Because of this, people have learned to save every drop of water. For example, they clean utensils using sand instead of water. They use only a little water to rinse. Even that water is not wasted. It is reused, for example, to water plants. People in Rajasthan have also developed a very smart methods to store water. Two important methods are tanka and kunds. And tanka is an underground tank where rainwater is collected and stored. A kund is also a water storage structure, usually with a sloping surface around it, so that rainwater flows into it and gets collected. This stored water is mainly used for drinking purposes. So this shows how people in the Thar Desert are very careful and intelligent in using water because they know how precious it is. The Aravalli Hills. Let's go back to the map. Trace your path slowly from the Thar Desert towards the east. Do you see the Aravalli Hills? So now let's go back to the map again. From the Thar Desert, slowly start moving towards the east. Here you will notice a range of hills called the Aravalli Hills. These are one of the oldest hill ranges in India. They run across parts of Rajasthan and nearby areas. So, as we move from the dry desert region, we begin to see a change in the landscape. The Aravallis are among the oldest mountains in the world, some 2.5 billion years old. The range has many peaks and ridges, although its highest peak, Mount Abu, towers at over 1700 meters. Most of its hills are between 300 and 900 meters high. Isn't it fascinating that a drive of about 4.5 hours can take us from Mount Abu in the Aravallis to Jodhpur in the Thar Desert, a drive into a completely different geography. So the Aravalli Hills are among the oldest mountains in the world. They are about 2.5 billion years old. That means they were formed a very long time ago. This mountain range has many peaks and ridges. Peaks are the highest points and ridges are the long, narrow, raised lines along the hills. So, the mountains are not flat. They have uneven tops and long raised parts. Its highest point is Mount Abu, which is more than 1700 meters high. But most of the hills are not very tall. They are usually between 300 and 900 meters. Now, here is something very interesting. In just about 4.5 hours of travel, you can go from Mount Abu in the Aravallis to the Jodhpur in the Thar Desert. Imagine that in a short journey, you move from a hilly region to a dry desert. This shows how quickly the geography of India can change from one place to another, making it very diverse and fascinating. Figure 1.25 left a part of the Aravallis. Just beyond this range, the Thar Desert begins. So just beyond these hills, the Thar Desert begins. This means in a very short distance, the land changes from a hilly region to a dry desert. Right? A part of the Aravallis seen from space. So this picture shows a part of the Aravalli Hills as seen from space. Let's explore. Look at the political map in the textbook and identify the states that the range spans. Did you see Delhi, Rajasthan, Haryana and Gujarat? So take your political map of India and try to trace the Aravalli Hills on the map. As you follow the range, you will notice that it passes through several states. The Aravalli Hills extend across Delhi, Rajasthan, Haryana and Gujarat. This activity helps you connect what you learn with the map, so you can understand the location of landforms more clearly. The Aravallis play a vital role in shaping the geography and climate of northwestern India. One of its most important functions is acting as a natural barrier preventing the Thar Desert from expanding further eastward. You will read more about this later. So, the Aravalli Hills are very important for the geography and climate of northwestern India. One of their main roles is acting as a natural barrier. They stop the Thar Desert from spreading further towards the east. Because of this, the areas on the eastern side of the Aravallis are less dry and more suitable for living and farming. So, these hills help protect nearby regions from becoming dry and barren like a desert. The Aravallis, rich in minerals like marble, granite, zinc and copper, have supported mining and construction activities for centuries. In fact, evidence from its ancient mines at Zawar has shown that over 8 centuries ago, Indians were the first in the world to master the delicate process of extraction of zinc. Historic forts such as Chittorgarh, Kumbhalgarh and Ranthambore are located here. So, Aravalli Hills are not only geographically important, it is also very rich in minerals like marble, granite, zinc and copper. Because of this, people have been doing mining and construction here for many centuries. And there is something very interesting here. At a place called Zawar Mines, they have found evidence that more than 800 years ago, Indians were the first in the world to extract zinc properly. This shows how advanced people were even in ancient times. The Aravalli region is also famous for its historic forts such as Chittorgarh Fort, Kumbhalgarh Fort and Ranthambore Fort. These forts show the history, strength and architecture of this region. Figure 1.26, Kumbhalgarh Fort surrounded by the Aravallis. This location in the hills proved to be an excellent deterrent to the enemy. So, building the fort in the hills was a very smart decision. The hilly and uneven land made it difficult for enemies to reach or attack the fort easily. So, the location itself acted like a natural protection. That is why this place was an excellent deterrent to the enemy, meaning it helped to prevent attacks. Kumbhalgarh Fort provided natural protection from enemies. So with this, we have completed the part 2 of the chapter Geographical Diversity of India. I hope you found it easy to understand. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.